So hey yo, welcome back to my channel. I am Kali, a quote-unquote inconsistent YouTube creator. I'll be honest with you all, I don't really be on this platform too much as I should be, okay? But I am very active on my TikToks, so y'all can go check me out. I have two pages. One is my business page and one is my more personal brand page. But I do want to pour more into my YouTube channel in 2026 because I want to have more longer form content where I could speak a little bit more about things that are on my mind, things that I see I may have like a stake in, little girl chats or whatever. Because when I first started creating video diaries for myself, I was only 12 years old. My dad bought me my first ever little iPad. So, I started my little Apple user journey, and clearly I have been hooked all those years later. And I really loved looking back and seeing how much my voice has changed, how much my face has changed, how much my mindset has changed, the spark that I had at that age, my first ever little video diary, and recently on my TikTok, well, this year in particular on my TikTok, I started a series of Big Sister chats, and it has been having a really great reception over there on TikTok. And it's so funny because I myself am an only child. However, I've been in spaces where I've always been the oldest in a space, and I was never really given that title of big sister in the right way that I wanted. I always wanted to be an advisor, to be a sort of role model example, to be somebody that confident for people that they felt comfortable enough to come and talk to me, seek advice from me, cry to me or whatever. I've cried to a lot of women in my life, a lot of older women, and they have nurtured me or either shown me, hey, not to cry to people anymore, whatever it is. So now that I am in a position where it's like 28 years of experience, of knowledge, of going through life, I am glad that my social media gave me a platform to share what I've learned to people, and they be very receptive to it and like, hey, these are things I wish my own sister told me, or hey, I'm also only child, I don't have sisters, so hearing this helps a lot. Because when I was younger, I looked a lot into YouTubers for a lot of my knowledge, and I'm really glad I did, because people being transparent helped me feel like I am not alone. Because again, when you're the oldest in a space, you're going through a lot of the things, a lot of the transitions in your life alone. And I've always been extremely mature because I was raised by adults. Like, everyone in my family raised me, and they were like in their 20s, going through life, seeing things. So I was able to like kind of grow up with them. And that gave me more of a mindset of independence, more grounded, more having my own foundation, seeking my own validation. Like, peer pressure and me cannot mix. I am the quickest to say no. I'm the quickest to leave. I'm the quickest to leave the group chat. I'm the quickest to make an enemy. I don't mind being a villain in everybody's story, as long as God says, hey, you are on the right track, you're doing the right thing, and serving me doesn't mean you're going to be loved by everybody. God was the most perfect man on earth, and they still crucified him, so who's me? In my journey next year of like being active on my YouTube, I want to more delve deep into topics that I personally have experienced, that I have learned from, because I truly do believe you don't have to experience something to learn from it. You can learn from others, and those who don't learn from others set themselves up for a really hard life, a life where you have to experience so much more, where you could have just learned from people. But a lot of people are very stubborn and hard-headed. I've seen it for myself. I have probably been like that. You're just setting yourself up to grow slower than most. So jumping into my first segment of Girl Chat, we're just going to be talking about the year in general, like how 2025 passed, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, a lot of self-reflection, I'm gonna tell you that much. But the first thing I want to make mention to you all is that the mistakes of a girl is the making of a woman. Let me tell you why that is so important. That one little statement is so important to me. Growing up, being the oldest in a lot of spaces, being a quote-unquote only child, I have always been stereotyped that I was spoiled, I was a brat, I was this, I was that. I'm not gonna hold you. I had my moments when I was a child, okay? But as you start to get older in life and you start to dictate your life a little bit better, you are responsible for yourself. You have yourself where you're at. This is no mommy or daddy, this is me. Okay, this is God and then me.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work.
right? People still want to try to stereotype because it's like, this is not because I'm an only child. It's because of my mindset. It's because that I am selfish for me, because nobody is going to be selfish to me like I am. And I am not ashamed of that, and I will speak that to the heavens, because you have to be very selfish for your own happiness, because people will use and use and use and use you and still not like you, and still not defend you in rooms, and still not communicate with you, and still. So yes, I am very selfish to how I want my happiness in this life to be, how I want to be of service in life, how I want to be deemed as a woman of faith to begin with, because I honestly would not even be existing if God didn't step in and take control of my life and I allowed him to. Because I ain't gonna hold you, I grew up Christian, but I was very stubborn to faith, in that I felt as if all these people around me are in faith, yet still who gossiping here, who doing this here, who do it. Like, it was like, what example are we setting? We're preaching one thing, but a lot of y'all are doing the other thing. And as a young person, you learn more from people's example than what they say. You can tell me to stop smoking, but are you going to stop smoking and show me an example of it? You know what I mean? That was kind of my thing when I was growing up. But as I got older, especially like when I started to hit my 20s and I started to go through things and be perceived more as an adult but still want to be kept in a child's place, I had to put all my energy and all my trust in God, because I was like, Lord, these humans on earth right now doing me dirty, and I didn't really like it that much. And God was like, I got you. I always tell myself that I was not a perfect kid. I definitely had my bratty moments. I was definitely spoiled-minded. I was definitely rude. I would not. That's one thing. You can't use my past against me if I know what I did, right? And if I can admit what I did. But one thing for sure, the mistakes of a little girl that didn't know any better, always thinking that I could get whatever I want, do whatever I want, that is not the same. That is not the same person you see now as a woman. And the mistakes that little me made, older me has learned from it. Older me know how to handle different things, I'm gonna tell you that. And there's always proof in the pudding, and that's why I love that the Bible tells you that you'll know them by their fruit. People can say one thing, but your actions and the way that your life is set up is going to show if you actually live by that. And I just look at my life every day, and for the past 8 years, 6 years, 5 years, 1 year, that is like, I am definitely not who people wanted me to be, to prove themselves right about their opinions on me. And one thing about me, I love doing things out of spite. I love doing things out of spite. You are not going to speak on my life and think that is going to happen. You're not God, so it's not going to happen. Yeah, and I just give you guys that small bit of backstory, because it's like, the perception or the opinion that people put on you in your youth, when you are figuring out life, those are the times when you're going to figure out life. You're going to go through a rebellious phase, you're going to go through an introverted phase, a rude phase, a spoiled phase, and people are going to think that you're going to be that forever, but prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Opinion that people put on you when you are younger is not the one that you're going to grow up with. It's not the one that you're going to stay with when you get older. You can change, you can be different. I have changed about 10 lives because I refuse for people to put me in this box, in this little box of not being more than I know I'm capable of. And 2025 was just the biggest transitional year of my life as a woman, as an adult. And I did it alone. I've been doing it alone with the help of God and with the help of the people that God brought in my life. The one or two people that came in and left, that's okay. Like, I learned this from a guy I used to talk to when I was younger. His mom said, what if you're just a stepping stone for her? And at the time, you'd feel like, oh my God, no, I don't want to be just that. But sometimes people really are just stepping stones to make you better, stepping stones to show you something. And I'm thankful for all my stepping stones. I'm thankful for the moments that I had with people, even if we're not good anymore to this day, even if we don't speak, communicate, it doesn't really matter. Because at one point in my life, you saved me without even knowing it. Point on to mention to you all, as a entrepreneur, I've been like this for 5 years. I have dabbled in the 9 to 5. I didn't enjoy it, and I made the decision to leave. Not everybody can make the decision to just leave, right? But it was just a financial thing. It was more of like I'm not finding what I'm searching for. One of my biggest search is definitely community. I want to find that in every environment that I choose to give my time to. And in the 5 years of me figuring out my life trying to do this, my business has been the one sustaining me. My business is the one that has afforded me so much things in this life that I knew were possible for myself. I just didn't know the timeline. I had my little interviews in and out with jobs, still trying to, you know, find myself, find that community. Each of them were like, well, are you going to give up your business for the job? Are you going to have the time for the job? And I'm like, this job sustained a 23-year-old girl. Why would I give up something that God blessed me with? I make an income from my skill, from my talent, and you're telling me to give it up because you assume that I won't have the time or the dedication to your business. Do you know how much dedication and discipline it takes to run your own business? To run a digital business, not a product. I am my business. My mind, my skill, everything. That's how I make an income. I don't sell this phone to make money, right? And it's like, if I can do that for 5 years consistently, never drop, never dip, that daddy's or mommy money has never pulled me out, why do you think that I won't be able to give that same energy to a job while also sustaining the business that sustains me? And it just let me know that a lot of these jobs, I can do this for a while, but a lot of these jobs aren't empathetic is the word. And they really just want you to slave to make them richer, not knowing how you eat at the end of the day, not knowing how your bills are paid at the end of the day. It's just like, oh, you have to show up and we pay you to show up. No, you pay me so that I could sustain a life and be a running adult in the country, a productive adult, that when you die, I'll be able to still sustain the country going on. Each of us as young people, right? I feel many of these jobs don't understand that you have to build the young people of this country because you're not going to be here forever, and you want to make sure that they are equipped to run the country and handle things, you know, right? So please, as an entrepreneur, if you're wanting to get back into the 9 to 5 field because you want more income, you want a sense of stability, you want a place of community like I am searching for, don't allow them to give up the business that has been keeping you throughout the hardest economical times in the world. You know, so much things that people have been going through. I'm thankful that I haven't been hungry. I haven't had to beg for money to pay my bills. I haven't had to, you know, I am thankful for that. And that was only possible because of the business that I have. And some people may tend to ask, well, if you have this big business, what are you looking for a job for? Because there's no community doing it on your own. I am under 30 years old. I have no children, no dependents. The sky is the limit, so I can do it. Quite literally, I could do it all. There's a small little rant there, but don't let these jobs make you give up something that has been sustaining you while they weren't even hiring you. Do you understand me? So I actually have to head out to do adulting, a lot of adulting. And when I get back, I will hit you all up to finish off this video. Just chit chat about more of the lessons I learned this year and what I'm taking into the new year, what I'm not taking into the new year when I get back. By the way, our scent of the day is the Latafa. I can't pronounce that, but this, I actually got it from Christmas for my dad. I love male scents as well at times, and this one smelled really good, and I'm glad he chose it for me because my dad, my both parents really made me feel special this Christmas, and I appreciate them even at 28 years old, where it's like I'm the type of person I get everything I want. I make sure that I can make it happen for myself because my parents always made it happen for me, and I'm glad that they still consider me. It's not like, oh, I have to get this far. It's like I want to still see my kid as a kid and make her feel good on Christmas. I appreciate my parents for that. So yeah, let's go do my day and then we'll come.